Yo, yo, yo. Guess who's back? I'm here. I'm in effect. I know y'all just seen me, but I said I'm doubling up today. I got my boy JJ coming to the screen. If you guys don't know him, a lot of you do, a lot of you don't. But if you don't know him, man, come join the show. Ask your questions because this is what we're here for. We are here to learn about the bowler outside the bowler. So I know a lot of you guys just seen Gigi's show. She's absolutely amazing. That was a great show. And I know my boy JJ is gonna have a better show. So I'm gonna bring this look. I'm gonna bring this dude to the screen. And I want y'all to laugh. Yeah, just shake your head. Soon when you see him, just put SMH. Who is JJ? JJ is Johnson John. No, you know who JJ is, Ralph. You about to see right now. Bring my boy to the screen. Hey, JJ in the building. What's up, baby?
What's up, man? How you doing? Representing.
Yeah, I see you represent, but you got to fix it a little bit. Turn it to the right a little bit. The right. There you go. There you go. You got to straighten it up. Bam.
Okay.
There you go.
That's Las Vegas. That's the Golden Knights right there.
Hey, that's the Golden Knights?
Yeah.
Hey, Mom, come here real quick. You ain't got to get all the way in the screen, but look at this guy. They don't even have to see you. But look at this dude. Look at this dude.
Are we talking to Mr. Mom?
Yeah.
Mr. Bowtie, Mom.
No, he representing Bowtie. Yeah, he got a bow tie on. This dude here. I don't know about this guy.
That's something.
Yeah. What's good though, bro? Everything good with you?
Everything is good, man. I'm doing great. Doing great here in Las Vegas. Yes, sir.
Man, are you ready to go back bowling?
You know what? I haven't missed it. I've been busy, so I thought like maybe the first week or two, because I bowl like 3 leagues.
Oh, you're a bowler.
Yeah, I'm a late bloomer. I didn't start bowling until I was 25 years old.
Oh,
Actually,
wow.
I picked up my first bowling ball when I was 9. I bowled in 1 league. My mom put us in a league, and I averaged 89. I was 9 years old. Then I didn't pick up a ball again until I was 25, 26 years old. So yeah.
Wow.
So that's where, and I was probably 130, 140 bowler. Didn't know anything. Didn't know about fingertip balls and all that. So somebody took me under their wing and kind of schooled me, and then I fell in love with it. First, let me say this to you. I totally appreciate what you're doing for the sport of bowling. Just this right here, I just wanted to say that because I watched you over time from a distance. Super cool cat, but I just respect the fact of what you're doing for bowling too, man. I just want to throw that out there. So
hey, I appreciate it. And like I said, dude, it's for everybody, bro. Because like I said, man, you run across a lot of people, bowl a lot of tournaments like I do. And we know the bowler inside the bowling alley, but everyone has a different story.
Yeah.
And that's and once we understand, you're gonna be like, dang, I didn't know that. So now when you see that person, man, you may just go over there and give them a hug, like, boy, I love you, like, or there anything. You know what I'm saying? It's the little things to let people know, man, that we really do care. It's not, it's about bowling, but outside of bowling, we really are and genuinely great people.
Absolutely. That's what. So I respect you for that. Just taking this platform and to reach out and just get us in touch. That's my speed too. So people that don't know me, not only am I a bowler, but I'm a pastor at a church, and this is bowling is my therapy. Away from that. But
why do you love bowling? Is it the money? Is it the camaraderie? Is it the competition?
It's for me. It's always been about the competition. Once I figured out how to bowl, I thought I figured it out because I don't think we ever really figured it out. But it became the competition. You know, when you go to different states and you're bowling against people, you see that level. And I remember looking at people going like, wow, that guy, you know. And this is when I was a beginner bowler. My brother Victor bowls, I bowl, and we used to look at people and go, man, I wish I could average 200, or I wish I could shoot a perfect game. And then it's so the competition is really what motivated me. And once I figured it out and I could bowl on different levels, then it was on at that point.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? Like I said, we've been knowing each other now, dude. I want to say 10 plus. Easy.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
Easy. And I was like, easy.
I have dreams older than you.
Dude.
I'm 55 in August. I'm a senior.
Oh, yeah. You about to get in a senior game. You up in it.
I started with the senior at the 50 plus, but yeah, I was 20. So it's been about 25 years since I've been bowling. But I've known you, man, when I've seen you graduate. I've seen you. So,
and it's crazy. Like I said, talking to people on my show, I learned something new. And I just learned something new about you. I never knew you were a pastor. I never knew that. Like I said, dude, and this is why I like this show. Because every single guest I have, I learned something new. I don't care if it's somebody I talk to every day, or if I see at tournaments all throughout, or if I bowl with them at tournaments, and I may not talk to them every day. I learned something new, and this is why I love this show.
Yeah, I commend you on it, bro. Yeah, I'm a Johnson family. There's 8 of us, 6 boys, 2 girls. Right. I was born in Michigan City, Indiana. My uncle was actually the light heavyweight champion of the world, Marvin Johnson, in the 70s. My other uncle played lead guitar for Frank Zappa. His name's Ray White. He lives here in Vegas now. So there's some stories people don't know. My youngest brother, actual name is Six, S-I-X-X. And he has a song with Brian McKnight, with Neo. He wrote on the Empire Show. So there's stuff that you don't know that I was the athlete in the family. I don't have those other gifts. I can't sing. I can't rap. I can't do any of those things. But my family comes from a wide variety, from boxers to musicians to all that. So, yeah, my dad worked at 5. So we used to be at the movie sets watching the Osmond Show and what's happening. We were on the set watching, growing up, just sitting there.
That's crazy. Like I said, dude, the stories behind the bowler is what brings us here, bro.
Yeah. Real talk. Pastor, when we talk to somebody for the first time, we ask them, just tell us your story, because nobody can tell your story like you can. And then once I know your story, I know who you are. So that we use that as a pastor. Like, just tell me a story.
There you go. Hey, here go a good question for you right here. Ron Sims Jr. I'm sure you know Ron.
Yes, sir.
Hey, as a minister of the gospel, does bowling pose any uneasy issues for you in the bowling center sometimes?
You know, when I first started when I was a young pastor, I was I'll be honest with you, I was still learning not to judge people, because and for me, you're supposed to love the person and hate the sin, if that makes sense. Love the person, hate the sin. So no matter what you do, so people I would see stuff and I go, man, that person's either drinking or that person's smoking, and I was all over the place. But I was new. But I would never say anything. People that know me in the bowling alley, I'm quiet. Right. I have my earbuds on and I'm just myself. But absolutely, I'm gonna tell you a true story. Like, once they found out I was a pastor, people started censoring themselves around me. They go, oh, you can't do that. But I didn't ask. I never asked. I never imposed myself to say, hey, I'm a pastor, don't do that. Never. Not one time. I just go in and bowl. And the honest part to that question, Ron, that's a great question, is that the person that's in there, it's always an opportunity for me to minister to them at some point. And I just go to bowling to bowl. Sometimes they'll come to me and ask me a question, or they're having personal problems. I get to know them, and then I'll pull them to the side. But I never go there like, hey, do this and don't do that, or never. I just let the situation unravel in front of me. And we're supposed to be around all types of people. It would be weird if I was a pastor just around believers. That would be kind of weird to me. I'm supposed to help everybody. I'm supposed to help people.
Wow.
So at first it was a challenge, but not at all anymore.
Hey, that was a deep.
I'm gonna tell you a quick story.
That was
situation. There was one.
Uh-oh.
What's that?
Nope, hold on. It was going in and out. All right, let's go for it.
Okay. We good now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you a quick story. I was bowling with 4 gentlemen, and I put money in a pot to win like 500. It was a strike pot, and I told them, I said, I heard God tell me I'm gonna win that pot and to give each one of them $100. So I had to throw 12 strikes in 3 games, right? You know, X strike in this frame, this frame, this frame. Then the next game, you kind of repeat that, right? You guys probably know. But anyway, I get down to the last strike, and for a split second, I heard like, you're gonna embarrass God. You're gonna. People don't know this about me. This is what I'm thinking. I picked up my ball. I was about to roll it. I needed one more strike for this $500. I roll it. I get the $500. I give each one of them $100. But I told them before game 2, I called them over and I said, God told me I'm going to win this tonight, and I'm supposed to give you guys $100. And then they were asking me, what church do you go to after that? That's a true story.
Wow. God is good, bro.
True story.
Wow. Hey, Sherry
All the
Stingley.
time.
Hey, Sherry Stingley from up north said, a pastor in the city of sin. Interesting.
Yes. No kidding. It is Sin City, and we say, you know, I think that terminology has been there way before I came to Las Vegas. I've been here since 2006. The stuff that's around, that's exactly what I was saying about even the bowling facility. You're around certain things, but I'm supposed to love the person. That's what I look at. I'm not the judge and jury over people's life. I'm just a pastor trying to lead people in the right direction. So whatever their struggles with, then I'm supposed to be there to help and share the word of God. So that's what I do. Doesn't matter if I'm in Sin City or if I'm in, you know, a place that's secluded and it's only 100 people in town. I'm going to share the gospel and I'm going to try to help.
Hey, Steve Villanueva asks, can you teach me how to Zumba after throwing a solid strike on the lanes?
Steve only moves 1 or 2 boards. We know that. And that's nothing against lefties, Mr. Villanueva, but I've known Steve probably just as long as you, Brandon, and I've seen Steve move this much in 10 years. This much, but he's phenomenal bowler.
Steve doesn't move. He either throws it faster or he throws it slower. He doesn't move. No. Hey, who's the better bowler, you or your brother?
He doesn't move. We get that question all the time.
Yeah.
Victor and I we always answer it this way. We always answer it like, sometimes he beats me and sometimes I beat him.
Hey, so look, where were you born and raised?
Say that again.
I said, where were you born and raised?
I was born and raised Michigan City, Indiana. I was born in Michigan City, Indiana, and I moved to the San Fernando Valley when I was in the 7th grade. So I lived in California from the early late 70s, and then till 2006 I was in California for all those years, and then I came to Vegas in 2006.
Okay, that's what's up there. Hey, do you ever see yourself moving out of Vegas now?
I don't think so. My wife and I, we got a nice little bit of property here. God's blessed us, and my family, my mom's here in Vegas, my sisters are here in Vegas, and I'm getting to that. Let me fix my man. What's going on? I'm gonna take this off, man. I can't be you.
Man, hey, it's
But
you really have to figure that bow tie stuff out. It don't always want to work.
you wear well. You wear well. But I live here now, and I'm comfortable. I'm pretty comfortable where I'm at. I like where we live. We actually live, not trying to brag, but we live in what's called historic Las Vegas, which my house is like 2-3 blocks from the street in Roy home. So this area doesn't feel like Vegas at all. It's ranch style. It's, you got big backyards and stuff like that. So I like it over here. And unless I found something rural like that, I'll probably be here till I'm gone. Okay. And we got the most bowling centers.
Yes, you do, for sure. Hey, Dewan Turner asks, what sports did you play before bowling?
So here's another one you guys don't know. And that's my son-in-law. What's up, Dewan?
Well, I'm about to say the same thing. What up, B?
I played professional basketball in Mexico for 2 years. And then I played in high school. I was a football player, baseball player, and basketball player in high school. And then, of course, Dewan and I just played 18 holes yesterday, so I played golf as well.
Whoa. Stop right there. Do you play golf or do you just hit the ball and go out there and have a good time? It's a difference. I need to know.
Okay, I'm going to say this. Dewan knows I have 2 hole-in-ones, right? 2 hole-in-ones, but I'm a bogey golfer. If it's a par 5, I'm in 6. If it's a par 4, I'm in 5. I'll par a couple of holes. I'll double bogey, but I can play a little bit. You know, Brandon, being an athlete, we can play a little bit of everything.
Absolutely.
Just a little bit. I'm enough that I'm average. I can just get by and play. And then there's certain things that you can excel at that I feel like I'm a better athlete than others. I can play tennis. I can play golf. I can play whatever. But I'm a bogey golfer.
Hey, how was your childhood growing up with all your siblings?
Dewan cheated yesterday, by the way. We were poor. There's 8 of us. So we lived in the low income area. I remember my mom even struggling sometimes with paying rent. I remember our car being repossessed one time when I was little. I remember we bought this house on 38th and Woodlawn in LA, or not bought it, we were renting it. And people were laughing at us because it was like the Munsters house. That's what they called it. It was a big old green house. The ceiling leaked. My dad had a Toyota that, he had to start it 15 minutes before we even went outside. And to go to school. We had one bike between all of our family that somebody stole in 2 days after we had it. So we grew up literally like in poverty. But I told my dad I was going to be a millionaire before I was 35 years old. That was my goal. I was like, I'm going to be a millionaire before. That's why I wanted to play professional basketball, because I thought, just like probably all the inner city kids, I'm going to get my mom and dad out of poverty. But I can tell you this, they did a great job because none of my brothers and sisters were ever in gangs, drugs, any of that stuff. So even in those tough times, we had both our parents and we kind of managed through it. But we had to share the bed. We had to share clothes. We weren't rich by any stretch of the imagination.
All right. Hey, Sherry Stingley asks, hey, bogey from which tees?
We typically play from the blue tees, middle tees usually. So, yeah. Like I said, I'm okay. I can handle this a little bit.
Hey. Hey, were you ever on tour? If so, when? If not, would you want to be on tour?
Say that again, Brandon. I lost you.
I said, were you ever on a PBA tour? If so, when? If not, would you want to be?
I joined the PBA tour in 2010. And I bowled the World Series of bowling. That was my first event. and crossed with Kelly Kurlich. And I remember Kelly came out and didn't throw a strike in practice at all. Didn't throw one ball in the hole. Had her ball rep behind her looking at the shot. And I'm over here throwing 3 or 4 different balls trying to get lined up. And then he leaves, goes to the truck, comes back. The lights go off. We get ready to start. She never threw that ball and starts the opening match with 279. And I was like, what am I doing here? But I was on tour from 2010 to 2016. And then honestly, to be quite honest, you guys know as PBA bowlers, what's the championship day? Sunday. And being a pastor, I couldn't bowl on Sundays. I had to be in church. So I made a decision back then that my priorities were going to be in church and not bowling. So if you see me, you usually hear me say I can bowl any tournaments on Fridays, Saturdays. Sometimes I can take a vacation, but it won't be bowling doesn't take priority for me on Sundays like the church does. For me, I always ask that day, when are we bowling? And that's what made me kind of pull out of the tour and just pick events that I could do and then kind of schedule my church time. If it was an event on a Sunday, I just schedule vacation or something and try to shoot a couple of tournaments a year. But it wasn't going to be my livelihood because I know I couldn't commit to Sundays.
Wow, that's deep right there, bro. That is hella deep. Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Coop?
Yes, sir. Oh, my man, Coop. What's up, Brian?
Yeah.
What do you want to say? Oh, my goodness. There's a story behind that. I'll leave it alone, Coop. We'll talk later.
Uh-oh. Hey, Wanda Parker, don't know if you know her. She's out of Dallas. But she asked, what future goals do you have with the game of bowling?
My plans right now is to bowl some senior events. I was actually scheduled to bowl in June, the Masters over here in Vegas, and I'm looking forward to bowling that. So my goal really is to, like I said, I kind of plan my schedule out. I'm fortunate to get about 3-4 weeks of vacation time. So in that year, I book in what I'm going to bowl when I have to take Sundays off. So I'll do nationals. I'll do maybe Ron Morris tournament. I'll do some PBA 5th events, and then that. But it's just more like to just be competitive. I'm with Haynes Bowling I'm on staff with them, so they take care of all my equipment. David Haynes is awesome guy, just great. So he's helped me with a lot of things in bowling. So it's to get better. I think I have 40-something 300 games. I have about 10 800 series. My high book average was 236 one year. And that's when I just started really focusing on bowling and not all the other Zumba and other that I do.
Hey, guys, look, me being on this show right now and talking to my boy JJ, I feel bad because I just found out that he's a pastor, and I'm over here with this red cup with Bowtie juice in it, and I'm over here sinning, talking to the pastor. Man, I feel like crap.
You okay?
Dude.
Hey, Brandon, all the time that I've known you, out of these 10 years that I've known you, if I ever condemn you, how we treat each other, and you didn't even know I was a pastor.
No, not one bit.
I never even judge you, bro.
No. But it's just the thought of it now. And I'm like, dude, wait a minute. Man, it's okay. Hey, what is your biggest bowling accomplishment?
People they convict when they're around me.
Dude, hey, what is your biggest bowling accomplishment, and what is your most memorable moment on the lanes?
That's a good question. My very first 300 game, That's probably the most memorable. I'll answer that kind of backwards. I had 299 before I shot 8 before 300. So I wanted a game so bad, so bad. Victor, my brother, had a 300 and no 800. So he would wear. I'd had that blue 299 ring.
Yeah.
And I wanted it so bad. And I remember my first 300 game because a couple things happened. On my 11th shot, it was in a handicap league, and a lady was next to me, and she said, "Who's about to shoot 300?" while I was on the approach. And her husband started yelling at her, so she got up crying and left. And I was still on the approach, and I'm like, what's going on? And then I throw the 11th shot, and I feel somebody grab me, pick me up, and it's my dad. And I said, "Dad, I got one more shot to go."
Oh my gosh!
So I remember that day. So my mom was. So I throw the 12th one, luckily, and I was like, "Wow, finally!" So that's my most memorable one. My biggest accomplishment was probably I've won some tournaments here, SMBT tournaments. I've won. I'll bring this one up since Steve Villanueva was here. Steve Villanueva, beat him in the SMBT championship game 2 out of 3, and Steve was goating me on a little bit because I'm a senior, and we were going back and forth game number 1. We were going. I think it was like 260, 250. And then the next thing, I think he ran out of gas and I beat him. That was probably one of the most memorable ones. But I have some. I have what was that one called? It was we won the champion. I won some state championships out here. Bill Hewlett and I in doubles. We won the 10,000. I think it was I forget the tournament that it was now. It was like a military tournament. It was a military tournament. Yeah, 2 years ago. So was it 2 or 3 years ago? That was pretty memorable too. So.
Hey, Steve said you didn't move your feet all 3 games.
I'm a low rev player. My ball speed is 6 miles an hour, Steve.
Oh my God. Hey, what made you choose bowling out of everything else?
Bowling to me is an ageless sport. So I said I played basketball, and I'm 55. I can still shoot, but running up and down the court for 3 hours is probably not going to happen anymore. And then so I started looking at where I could get some enjoyment and still compete with people at different levels, because you see Walter Ray and Norm Duke and Chris Barnes, all those guys that are going over to the senior team, those guys can still throw the ball like crazy. So I feel like bowling is an ageless sport. It's ageless, so I want to be able to compete, and I want to be able to just say you're in control of your destiny there. They say there's no defense in bowling, but kind of there is. But I like the competition level. So I think what I'm just going to focus on really is trying to compete with those guys, the guys that I grew up watching and idolizing on the lanes. I get to compete with them at this level now. And I feel strong enough and young enough to still do it. So we'll see. I'm pretty a senior here in Vegas.
Who were your bowling idols growing up?
What?
Say, who were your bowling idols when you were growing up? Even though you started late or what have you, but who do you idolize the most?
So I used to watch. I watched Earl Anthony. Loved the way Earl Anthony played. But as I started to understand bowling, my favorite bowler of all time was Norm Duke. I kind of mimicked my game after Norm. I don't throw a spare ball. I throw almost like Norm does. But a real good friend of mine too that helps me a lot is Mike Hogan Jr. I'll text him sometime and gives me some information on the on lane conditions and playing certain things. So Personally, those guys really helped me. So I have a personal relationship with them. So that's why I grew up grew up watching and then able to talk to them on the lanes and get that down to earth. Even Mike Fagan gave me some great advice when I was bowling in a PBA tournament in California one time. Just some awesome advice that unsolicited. He just came over to me talking to me. And I was thinking, who is this guy at first? Till I turned around and saw it was Mike. And he just gave me some knowledge on equipment and what to do. So now I know a few of the PBA bowlers, but watching them and the greats, man, the Walter Rays, the Pete Weber's, all those guys they're phenomenal bowlers.
Hey, that is crazy. Like, I don't know if you just seen it, but at 87, he said Glenn was still averaging 200.
Yeah. Wow.
That's sick.
Wow, that's crazy.
Do you know this young lady right here?
That is.
Do you know this young lady?
Average 190. Yeah. Who does not know Phyllis? Phyllis is the PBA queen out here.
Phyllis is absolutely amazing.
She is, and her family is amazing. I know her family well. They're amazing people. And talking about an advocate for bowling, that's Phyllis.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah,
dude. Hey, what would you consider?
She's awesome.
Yeah, what would you consider to be your breakout moment? Would be on the lanes. When do you say, man, this is my breakout moment right here? I think I done made it.
I froze you.
Uh-oh.
I lost the audio.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me now?
There you go. I can hear you now.
I said, what would you consider your breakout moment would be on the lanes?
My breakout moment on the lanes?
Yep.
My breakout moment on the lanes. So actually, you know what? I'm answering like this because there's moments in time that I remember. Like I remember being in a PBA event and having the cameras were behind me, and I picked up a big 4 split, and then it transpired to the next game where I shot 279. My highest PBA score was 279. I think I had front 8 or front 9 or something like that. But that breakout, that was a moment that I actually felt like, man, I can really compete. Like the cameras didn't bother me. The people didn't bother me. I was just in that zone. And but usually it's because I bowl a lot of leagues, you don't get that environment. The environment's different, right? You bowl against Chris Barnes, that environment just different.
Oh,
so
yeah.
When you're bowling league, you're kind of relaxed and casual. But when the camera's on, people are looking at you and you're counting on you. So to break out to me is that moment and where you really feel like, man, I can compete at this level. It doesn't matter who's throwing that ball or who's doing it. It's me against the pins. So I remember that in a PBA event where I felt like, okay, I can do this. And then beating some of I won't name them here because I'm not trying to toot my own horn or something, but beating some PBA players and Hall of Famers and all that, where they're like, who is this guy? Who is this Jimmy Johnson guy? And I'm just, I beat some of the best players in the world straight up, 1-on-1.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, Sherry Stingley asks, hey, how do you, she's from up north. I think I heard you say you bowled a PBA. How, in your opinion, could we see more diversity on TV?
Well, we got to, you know what? We got to get out there. Um, if you think about when I grew up, the bowling, I wish I would have picked up the ball and knew about bowling when my mom gave it to me at 9 years old. I didn't pick the ball back up until I was 25. But what were the sports that we were gravitating to when we were younger? It was basketball, it was football, it was baseball, it was track and field. So I came up in that same circle, and I didn't think about bowling. I didn't think about tennis. I didn't think about golf. Had I known back then, or somebody would have educated me there, where I think I would have been able to excel on that level. Just my personal opinion is that we're not exposed to it at that early age. Like now you got social media, you got tournaments everywhere. When I was growing up, I didn't even hear about bowling. There was blue chip bowling. It was, I didn't hear about it like we would today. So I wasn't even on the radar. So I think African American people were going through, the sports that were commonly available to us. You could go down the street and shoot baskets at an elementary school. You could hop the fence. There was no bowling alley to go to and pay a couple of bucks to bowl. So I wasn't exposed to it. But I think today, with the way that we have this platform, I think people are willing to help each other today. People are, by the show alone, we're helping each other, educating each other with the tools. And Marty Hinton took me in his office for 2 hours and worked with me on equipment and making me understand equipment. People didn't want to give you that advantage back then. So if you had to learn what you knew between your two ears, and now I think I have the advantage to do that. And there's a bunch of talent out there, African American people. But here's the thing: if you're doing it for the money, then the PBA's got to raise this, because most of these guys are really talented or make their money at the amateur status, not on the PBA tour. If you think about that, a lot of these guys that are really good bowlers, the George Gohagans and stuff like that, make a lot of money not being a professional athlete for us to get to level, just like the NBA, the NFL, and those sports. The money's there. You can sign these contracts and be big, but the PBA has never been that way when I was growing up. And
Right.
Still, it seems like it's coming down, but there's still an opportunity. You don't have that money available for us. So when you can make more money being an amateur, it's not rocket science.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, Chris asks, do you like urethane?
Hey, Chris, didn't you just ask that to Gigi?
Oh man. Yeah.
I haven't thrown. I have a urethane ball. I have a urethane back here, the natural. But I haven't had to throw it on the conditions that I bowled on. I usually have something in that bag that I can go through, but I have one just in case. You got to have the tools in your bag for these conditions. You don't know what you're going to run into. So I got a little bit of everything in the bag for moments that I may need them. So if it calls for urethane, I'll throw you.
There you go. Hey, man. I don't know if you guys tuned in earlier, but I've learned some stuff about JJ. If you guys do Jerry Johnson, if you guys do, I've learned some new things about him, dude. I was just like, what? He's a pastor. Played basketball in Mexico. I'm like, whoa. Things that I've never thought of, or even, but yeah, this is the reason this platform was created, to learn about the bowler outside the bowler. And like I said, I appreciate JJ coming on, man. Real talk.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. All right, tell us.
I appreciate you, man. Again, I appreciate everything that you're doing.
Oh yeah.
Just thank you very much for the opportunity.
Hey, come on, man. We go back, bro. Like, I want to say it's probably been almost 15 years that we've been knowing each other.
I remember. Yeah, you were a youngster, man. You were a youngster.
I'm still a
So
baby. I'm still the
it might have
baby.
been that while.
Hey, but look, Jay.
Yeah.
Hey, I appreciate you coming on, bro. And enjoy. Tell the missus I said hello.
Much.
And don't let your brother beat you no more.
All right, man. Thank you so much. God bless you guys. Keep God first, and then you guys be safe out there.
Hey, absolutely. You do the same. Thanks, JJ.
All right, buddy.
Later. Dude, that's so crazy. I've been knowing Jerry, dude, like I said, almost 15 years. Never knew he was into church like that. Never knew he played professional basketball in Mexico. This is why I love my show, is because I learn new things all the time about everybody that's come on here. So earlier I had Gigi on, now just Jerry. Tomorrow, if you guys don't know, my boy, Andre Rounds. Andre Rounds is on the clock. I haven't heard from him. I haven't seen him, but I'm sure I'm about to send him a text message and let him know he on the clock. Be ready for y'all questions, man. You guys have a great night. I know it's 10, almost 11 o'clock in some places. Ron, I think it's almost 11 where you are. So I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate everybody shooting their questions. Like I said, dude, you guys be safe. Just because they're opening things up don't mean be the first out there to run to stuff, man, because people are still dropping. As long as people are dropping, we're not ready to open. So just listen to the news. Don't listen to your president because he got on Joe Biden about not having a mask on, which is dumb as hell. So don't listen to that guy. He's the same guy that's getting tested all the time. But like I said, man, I'm not into politics. I just happened to hear it a few minutes ago before this show started. So, hey, I love you guys, man. I love the support. Dude, let's just make it happen. Let's make it happen. So tomorrow, Andre Rounds is on the clock. Have y'all questions ready. All right? Man, I appreciate you guys again. And I'll holler at you guys tomorrow, man. If God is willing, we'll all be here again, listening to another story. All right? But, hey, until then, Bowtie out. Peace.